Hey guys, Edgar here. Guns for everyone. I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon. Usually, I don't do this kind of shit. Jump on the bandwagon, but I have an experience with this, so I decided to kind of have a conversation about it. I'm about to start a class in a few minutes, so I don't have that much time. Hopefully, I get this video done and upload it and all that shit. But 6 hours pissed. 6 hour isn't happy with you motherfuckers talking shit about it. 6 hours not too happy with you guys saying mean words to it. I own a Sig P320 X Compact. I'm a fan of their design. I think it's a really sexy douchey design. Very much designed for the douchebag in all of us. I think, anyways, this is such a douchey design, but I like it. Anyways, flagged, all that shit. 6 hours big mad because of the guns going off by themselves, or they're claiming that they don't. We all know that at the beginning that was happening. They kind of fixed it. One of the biggest issues for me is that they made it a like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. You voluntarily send it in instead of actually doing a for reals recall. So my biggest issue with this, my experience with the Sig Sauer, is the design of it. Many of you guys know that it's got a fire control group that separates it. That's the gun. That is the gun. So I'm going to take this gun apart as awesomely as I possibly can. Pew! The the issue with it is I'm going to take it apart completely. Well, not super completely, but I'm going to separate the fire control group. So I'm going to separate this. Shikaboom. So what ended up happening with me, and one of the reasons why I no longer carry the P320, is if you notice, there's this little bar on the outside. That's your trigger bar, all that stuff. It's a pretty neat design from an engineering perspective. A lot of shit going on. There's another bar over on this side. But what was happening with me is I took it to the range and we did range things, and dirt ended up being kind of wedged in between. In fact, you can kind of still hear some of the sand that's still in there. Ended up being wedged as you put this in. Ended up being wedged between the frame and the fire control group. Well, this is on the outside, so all of that dust, all of that dirt was getting caught right there between that and the frame of the firearm. And guess what? Shit wasn't shooting anymore. Shit wasn't resetting the trigger. So I would take one shot and then it wouldn't cycle completely. So that was an issue. But that was more of a slide issue than anything else. Kind of understandable. Um, kind of a little bit, tiny bit. But the biggest issue is I could no longer press the trigger. So I basically had a single shot 6 hour because there was dirt caught between here and the frame of the firearm. Now, other guns, it's a little bit more enclosed. If I were to take down a Glock, I mean, you guys know what the fucking guns look like. If I were to take that apart, can it potentially happen? Yeah, I suppose, but it's not as easy, I don't think. Some of you guys are probably engineers. You guys are on the internet. You guys have your fucking law degree, and you guys are fucking engineers or physicists. You guys will Google shit twice, and then you guys will know everything. But that's my experience with the 6 hour. So 6 hour could be big mad about the shit that happens and guns going off by themselves and shit like that. I think if you own a 6 hour, you'll be fine, especially if you have the newer ones. There is plenty of drop safes and shit like that. That is one other thing that I don't like about this gun is if we look at SIGs as I attempt to put this motherfucker back together. If we look at the SIG design, it does not have what most other modern day striker fired firearms have, and that is the quote unquote trigger safety. Now, some of you guys are like, well, I don't like it because feels and feelings and shit like that, but it is a drop safe. At the end of the day, that's what that is. That is a drop safe. It is designed so that if you were to drop the firearm Now I'm having. Oh, there we go. So if you were to drop the firearm, and it hits right, the first law of motion, shit likes to be what it is. Object in motion stays in motion. Object in rest stays at rest until acted upon by an external force. So when this shit hits, the gun stops. Boom! It tumbles a little bit because we're not in a vacuum, but it'll stop. Except this will continue traveling. This will continue traveling. Now, how likely is it for this to fall and that shit to go off and the trigger continue traveling? Not super likely, but it is one of those additional things that could potentially go wrong with this firearm is you drop it and it doesn't have that drop safe, that external drop safe. The fucking little trigger safety thing is not designed so that you have to press it. The fucking thing doesn't know what a finger is and what a shirt is or the corner of a desk is. It's a drop safe. That's what that is. Sig decided now we're too cool for that shit because the douchery doesn't like that, right? Because feelings and oh, my feelings and my emotions. So that's another thing where the marketing department is like, nah, let's just cater to the douchery. It's easy to sell to the douchery, so like we're not going to do that shit right there. Overall, it's a great gun. Overall, it's students had it in class yesterday and it ran fine. It did fine. It didn't fucking shoot itself. Overall, if you bought a 6 hour, you're gonna be fine, probably. Now in the extreme fucking circumstances that you end up like me, where some dust gets caught up in there, and it's fucking your shittiest day just turned into an even shittier day because now there's gunk caught up in there, and then the trigger isn't being reset because the trigger bar and the frame have dirt caught up in between it. Yeah, that's gonna fucking suck for you. Is it gonna suck if you accidentally drop the gun and fucking your deity wants to meet you and because of the lack of drop safe, it goes off? Can that potentially happen? Yeah, it can potentially happen. How probable is it? Not very. So you have to be a little bit smart about this shit. This is kind of a nice douchey design. I stopped carrying it because the SIG P320X compact, anyways, just because it is a nice, sexy design, but it does have some flaws. It does have some flaws. Um, I would not carry this gun anymore just because of those flaws. But anyways, I just want to jump on the bandwagon. I really don't have much more to say other than shit's funny. Shit's kind of funny the way it's all working out. I'm trying to put this bitch back together while I'm on the fucking thing with you guys. Choo! There we go. This is the other thing. Every once in a while, putting this motherfucker back together is kind of a pain in the ass just because of the design. Whoop. Well, and me being an idiot too. So put this bitch back together, took it apart, all that shit just to show you issues that I had with this firearm. This is probably one of the shortest fucking videos that I've done. And I even took a fucking gun apart. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully it did things. If anything, it'll get the algorithms going to talk about how fucking pissed off 6 hours that you're hurting its feelings. It's fucking hilarious to see it. If you haven't seen their little post that they did, go check it out. It basically says, please stop talking shit about me. Because the douchery with the tack vest and the night vision goggles are gonna come get you. That's basically what they said. But anyways, see you guys next time.